Hello. This morning I had an appointment that I had to fast for because we did the whole blood work thing. And so as you can imagine, post-appointment me is ravenously hungry and dreaming of breakfast burritos. And as enticing as it is to just like roll through my favorite local place to get a breakfast burrito, there's two problems. One, ain't nothing on that menu keto. Two, because it's a local spot, they don't even post the nutrition facts online, so it's like I would just be completely guessing as far as like how many calories I consumed. So we are currently sitting outside the grocery store about to go in and get supplies I need to make my own low-carb breakfast burritos. And I am very excited about that. But before we do, I weighed in this morning and I wanted to share that with you because I haven't shared my weight with you in quite a while now. And the reason for that is, as you guys know, I went off the rails and I ended up gaining back like 10 pounds and I didn't want to like start sharing my weight with you again until like I got back down. I just feel like maybe you would be sick of like the whiplash of like, you know, because I fall off, gain a little bit, and then it's like me trying to get back. So I just like didn't share it until I was back, if that makes sense. So as of today, I am on day 22 of my 175-day challenge that I talked about in a previous video. And as of this morning, I currently weigh 206.2 pounds, which is not my lowest weight. I think I got down to like 205 point something, but it's pretty close to my lowest. So I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of an update on that if you were curious. I fell off of track for about 2-ish months, like off and on. Like it was very much just me like trying to get back on it and then like falling off again and then like having a couple good days and then falling off. And I gained about 10 pounds in that time. And it took me 22 days, that's about 3 weeks to get back down to like where I was. So that's the update on that. Let's go get supplies. Alright, I'm back home. And pretty much the only thing I didn't show you me getting were these three things that look very similar, but they're different. I had to pop into a different store to find a jicama, which is like a keto-safe potato alternative. And I believe that this is the jicama. But this store also had other potato alternatives that I didn't see at the first store. And that is, I think this one's a rutabaga. And this one is potentially a turnip. I'm not quite sure without the label of the grocery store, to be honest, but I believe that is correct. And despite me attempting keto for over a year now, I have still never really dabbled in the dark arts of potato alternatives. So we are entering uncharted territory. But I am excited to give a bunch of different things a go, because not only are we trying these three, but I also got radishes and cauliflower, and I'm gonna roast those and see what would be the best in a breakfast burrito. So very excited for that little experiment. But I think before we do the breakfast burrito thing, I kind of feel like I should work out, because I know once I eat, I am not gonna do it. I am not an evening workout girly. I'm very much like I need to do it fasted, like first thing in the morning, and my appointment kind of knocked that all out of whack. But I feel like I should probably just get it in before I eat anything. Otherwise, it is not gonna happen today. Oh, and I do need to tell you something about the whole workout thing. So let me put this away real quick and then we will have a little chat. As many of you know, I've been working with Trainwell and my coach Grace for years now. And Grace has been a big reason why I've kept up with my physical fitness over the years, despite whatever the scale may be doing. But Grace is no longer my coach. And while I am definitely happy for her that she is pursuing opportunities that she wants to pursue, I was genuinely sad when she told me she was no longer gonna be my coach. And don't get me wrong, Grace definitely didn't leave me hanging. She recommended another Trainwell trainer for me, whose name is Jill. She's equally awesome and knowledgeable, and I just started working with her. But this just kind of got me thinking, in the age of AI, where everyone is trying to automate everything, including fitness, I think the edge that Trainwell has is the fact that you are connecting with a real-life human being. Trainwell, which if you weren't aware, is the ultimate one-on-one remote personal training service that provides real human accountability and expert personalization information all in a convenient app. They understand your goals, your injury history, whether or not you're having a bad week. They get it and they help you problem solve. And I don't know, even though Grace did all the normal personal trainer stuff like setting up my workouts and making sure that I learned proper form for doing the exercises, we also just chatted about like normal life stuff, and I would definitely consider her a friend. And I really do think that that connection was a major reason why I felt accountable to like show up and do my workouts. Because honestly, if my workout routine was just a ChatGPT prompt, I mean, I might stick to it for like a week, maybe a month tops, but I would feel like no type of way about blowing it off. But there is that sense of accountability to Grace and now to Jill. And what I'm currently working on fitness-wise is I recently got my VO2 max tested, and it's not exactly where I would like it to be. So I told Jill this during our onboarding call, and she immediately knew like a protocol to increase that and set up a plan and everything. So the whole thing is like completely customizable to like whatever you got going on, whatever goals you have, limitations, preferences, those kinds of things. You just talk to your person and they make a plan for you. So if you yourself are interested in getting matched with your own personal trainer, Trainwell does have a quiz you can take. Plus you can try it out for free for 14 days. So it's kind of like, why not? Anyways, let's go ahead and get this workout in so we can get to the breakfast burrito making. There are several vital elements that go into making a good-ass breakfast burrito that are just crucial. And there are reasons I have not attempted to make a keto version yet, because it's just hard to find a dupe for the original. You know, I don't want to sully the experience, but I think it's time. First and foremost, big-ass tortilla. We're gonna be using the carb balance ones. I could make my own, however, that is not the level of effort that I'm willing to put into this today. Then there's the egg element. That one's already keto enough. We don't have to do anything with that one. Although I am gonna lighten it up a little bit by mixing like whole regular eggs with egg whites. Then you got your cheese, your salsa, which we're gonna be making our own, and I found a jarred variety to try out. If you live where I live, green chili is a non-negotiable in a breakfast burrito. Luckily enough, I have some food cubes, so I don't need to prepare that fresh today. Then optionally, if it's your vibe, you have your breakfast meat of choice, usually a bacon or a sausage situation. I chose chicken sausage today. And then finally, last but not least, we have some kind of potato in the mix. It's either in the form of like a hash brown or like home fries, that kind of thing. And obviously potatoes are not keto. And to be honest, that's been like my major deterrent in like making a keto version of a breakfast burrito, because I don't know if anything's gonna potato even on the same relative plane as a potato, you know what I mean? And granted, I have not tried my options, but today we're running some tests. We've got these three guys, which I've already explained, plus radishes. Now I was gonna do like roasted cauliflower as well, but like I already know what that tastes like and it doesn't taste like a potato. So I'm just gonna stick with these four options and not put myself through the added effort of doing a fifth option as well. So I guess the logical place to start would be with the potato substitute, because these guys are pretty hard and I have a feeling they're gonna have to roast for quite a while. Shing! Sparkle, sparkle. Let's start with the one that I know for sure, it's jicama. I've never had this one as a potato substitute before, but I have had it raw with some tahini. Good stuff. We're gonna go ahead and do a jump cut to when this torture is over, because no need for both of us to suffer. Okay, 1 million years later. Now I could grate these and go like more of a hash brown route, but I think I'm gonna go more of like a home fry route and cube it and see what that does. And in future experiments, we could do a hash brown situation, maybe with the other half later on. A little bit of a chef snack. Jicama's pretty good as is. It's definitely the cross between a potato and an apple. Like, it's not quite as sweet as an apple, but there is that sweetness to it. And it's not quite as starchy as a potato, but there is a little bit of that, like, you know when you eat a raw potato and the inside of your mouth feels powdery? There's a little bit of that. But despite that, it is definitely not as starchy or carby as a potato, which makes it perfect for people who are doing the like low glycemic index thing and also keto. And if you're not doing any of those things, use a freaking potato. You don't have to find an alternative for no reason. Ain't nothing bad about a potato other than it kicks me out of ketosis. And for some reason, my mental health really tanks when I'm out of ketosis. That's my song for the day, my jingle, if you will. Now, I don't really know where to begin with like cutting the rest of these shits. And I also do not recall which one's the rutabaga and which one's the turnip. I'm gonna guess this one's the turnip. Do I peel them? I'm gonna peel them. And you know what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. I have that song stuck in my head for some reason. I don't think I heard it anywhere. It's just a thing that's happening. Now already, the turnip, if this is the turnip, it smells a bit more like oniony. It's like not making me cry or anything, but it has that quality. There's something oniony about it. Or no, you know what? It's more of like a radishy situation. That's what it is. You know, like the hotness of a radish? That's the smell, not an onion. So maybe turnip, just big radish. Not entirely sure. What I am sure about is we're gonna have the same problem we did peeling this one as we did the jicama, where it's embarrassing. So jump cut. Hey Google, can you eat a turnip raw? Hey Google, can you eat a turnip raw?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Would you like me to turn something off?
No, can you eat a turnip raw?
Sure. Which device would you like to turn up?
No, not turn up a device. Turnip, like the root vegetable? Can you eat a turnip, the vegetable, raw?
Yes, you can absolutely eat raw turnips. They are crunchy and have a zesty, slightly peppery flavour.
I can't include me sneezing on camera anymore because I found like this weird compilation that I was in that someone else made of just me sneezing, and I don't know the purposes behind that, but I feel like I maybe don't want to participate. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so turnip is basically just radish. So I think we like throw out this option and just do the 3, if that's cool with you. Because this is basically just a big radish. Like, it's a little bit more mild, which probably a good thing. Now for the last guy, the rutabaga. Hey Google, can you eat a rutabaga raw?
Yes, you can eat rutabagas raw.
All right, let's try a rutabaga. Just based on the raw taste test, I'm kind of thinking that rutabaga is gonna be the most potato adjacent. It doesn't have that starchy quality, but it's not as sweet as the jicama, and it doesn't taste like a radish. So, but we're gonna hold all official judgment till after the roast. Okay, we just have a parchment lined baking sheet here. I have my oven preheating to 400 degrees. Is that right? Is it not? I don't know. But we are gonna season these all 3 the same way, but separately, so I don't mix them. And that is with a little bit of oil to coat them, about a tablespoon, some onion powder, garlic salt, and a bit of paprika. And just give this a toss and spread it on 1/3 of your baking sheet. And I'm just gonna do that 2 more times with the other bits that we're trying out. Okay, remember squad, jicama, turnip, rutabaga. Don't let me forget which is which. Okay, now let's make some salsa. Technically, I would use a food processor for this, but I don't want to take it out of its hidey hole. So I'm going to be using a blender, and I am just going to chuck in about 2 fresh tomatoes, cored and cut up in chunks, like half of a yellow onion, cut into chunks, 1, count them, 1 serrano peppers, because I'm kind of a weenie hut junior. And I don't know how hot this is gonna be, but we're leaving in the seeds. Why is this opening so sketchy? The actual frick. Ah! One sketchily opened can of Rotel, probably with metal shavings. Remind me that I need a new can opener. That was very sketchy. Some lime juice that you pour a majority of on the counter. And a bunch of cilantro if you're classy. If you have that cilantro tastes like soap gene, I feel sorry for you because cilantro is my favorite herb. It's so good. All it tastes like to me is fresh. And some garlic. Looks like whatever I have left is going in. We're gonna season with a little bit of cumin, garlic powder because I don't feel that there's enough garlic in the mix, and some salt. Now let's blend and see what we got. Okay, it's very soupy and quite pink, but let's see what we got. It's good, but it's really hot. Just hits you like in the back of the throat. I was worried that Serrano was gonna be pretty hot. It's gonna be good at a burrito though. Okay, the potatoes are out of the oven. Let's go ahead and taste them by themselves and I'll tell you which one tastes most potato-like. Starting with the jicama. Okay, the jicama lost its sweetness. It tastes more potato-like. Now the turnip was as well transformed in the oven and it no longer tastes like a radish and it tastes more like, kind of like a squash or a roasted zucchini. And now the rutabaga. That one definitely tastes the most potato-like. It just does. Like, cause you can definitely tell that the other two are not potatoes, if that makes sense. But I think like if this was mixed into a breakfast burrito, you really wouldn't be able to tell that this was a rutabaga. I will say that I should have left them in the oven a little bit longer to get crispy, or just did it in the air fryer to get crispy. They're just all soft, which is fine. But yeah, I think maybe next time I'll explore the air fryer option. But right now I am starving. Let's assemble this freaking burrito. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Let's give this a try. I would never in real life do a cross section on a burrito because I just feel like it's way more messy than it needs to be, but this is holding up pretty good. To me, when it comes to burritos, the salsa can't be like within, it has to be sprinkled each bite. Girl, I am into this. That salsa I made. Let's just for funsies try this other one I picked up, guacamole salsa. I was just curious about it because look at this color. Pretty okay. Not as good as the one I made though. I give this a solid like 10 out of 10. Okay, let's shirk our responsibilities for cleaning up the kitchen right now and go check on the chickens and the garden, see what that's doing. Definitely getting quite a bit of vertical height on the tomato plants, and I was hoping that I would have some tomatoes to make this salsa with, but right now I'm not really even seeing any flowering going on. So that is going to be a later in the season thing. My mom is also doing a garden though, and she's getting things like squash and zucchini already, and that is also pretty null for me. Oh wait. Just kidding, I as well am getting some squash. And also something's growing here, but I do not recall what I planted here. Is this a watermelon? Maybe? It's so cute. This patch I know is going to be pumpkins, and I'm very excited about that. This is the first time I've attempted to grow a pumpkin, and there are a ton of flowers, so I'm hoping we get a ton of pumpkins. Then we have here wee little baby cucumbers. I fear that things are flourishing. And you know what's strange is like the only thing that I've really been doing different is kind of leaving everything alone, like really not bothering the weeds, like letting the weeds intermingle. And I feel like last time, around the point when my zucchini and squash were starting to take off, it was just like overran with those stupid squash bugs. And I'm wondering if like letting the weeds intermingle isn't deterring the squash bugs, because the squash bugs don't care anything about the weeds. They don't completely devour those. I mean, that would be helpful, but they don't. And I would like to say that this was like a hypothesis that I was like testing out, but in reality it's just because I'm lazy and didn't want to deal with the weeds. Okay, now let's go see what's going on with the chickens. Mavis. Okay, ladies, let's see what's underneath you. Make all your dinosaur noises. Okay. Very good. You got one, and it's covered in poo. But it's not broken. We love that. Thank you, ma'am. And you as well got one. And it is not covered in poo. Love to see it. And we got 3 in here. So this is the farm haul today. 1 squash, 1 zucchini, and 5 eggs. So I'm getting ready to take a much needed shower because I've worked out. And honestly, probably should have taken a shower after I worked out. But then I cooked. And then I piddled around in the garden for 45 minutes. But I want to know your opinion on my hair because I rarely wear it straight. So you don't really get like what it's doing in its straight form because typically I'm curling it. But what I want to ask you is what I should do. Because it's nearing the length where I'm kind of itching to take some scissors to it, and I want to know if you think I should just continue growing it out and see like how long we can get it, like some kind of share moment, or if I should cut like a little bit more of a curtain bang situation, keep the length and just add a little bit more layers so it goes up a little bit, or if I should chop it shoulder length. But yeah, those are your 3 options. Let me know what you think. All right, I'm as clean as I'm gonna get. Would you like to try a face mask with me? I'm very excited about this. This is the Collagen Milk Toning Wrapping Mask by Medicube. And I'm excited about this because this is like a peel off situation. Like it dries and then you peel it off, which just warms my heart. When I was in grade school, my mom had this like Neutrogena peel off mask and I always used to like get into it because it's very much the vibe of like putting Elmer's glue on your hand, waiting for it to dry and then peeling it off. There's just something so satisfying about that. And I have not been able to find a similar kind of peel off mask situation since getting into my mom's skincare as a wee lass. So I'm hopeful for her. I have recently kind of upped my skincare game from the typical moisturizer and SPF, and basically I just added a retinol. And retinol, if you haven't used it, is life-changing. I just feel like the morning after I apply it at night, I just wake up and my skin is like younger. It's a game changer. Why am I shaking so much? Already it is giving Elmer's glue and I'm excited about that. All right, I have finished applying this. Right now we're giving very much CEO goes to the beach, especially ones that run social media companies. And now I just have to wait about 20 to 30 minutes for this to dry and we will peel it off. How are we gonna pass the time? I could read the book that I have been putting on the back burner for the book club I'm trying to attend in a couple of days, or we could play the game that I've been obsessed with for the past few days, which is called Everything is Crab or something like that. And it's basically, you're just this little blob and you eat and eat and eat until you can evolve. And I think like the ultimate goal is to evolve into crab because, have you heard that thing? I don't know how true it is. I don't know the science behind it, but the theory is like everything will eventually evolve into crab. It's just a thing that I heard on the internet, but there's a game surrounding that idea and it's got little guys. You know what I mean? Like just little guys hopping around, eating each other, getting weird attributes like antlers or a beak or scales, you know, a trunk. And I've been very into that lately, so that is what I'm gonna do for my 20 to 30 minutes while this dries. All right, I believe it to be time. That is satisfying. The good news is I didn't get a hellacious rash, which was a concern considering I didn't do any kind of like little bit of a spot test with this product that I've never used before. So I'm gonna count that as a win in my book. Whether or not it did anything positive for my skin is kind of up in the air. I just kind of feel a little bit oily. But anyways, I guess that's it for this one. I just want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today and watching. Remember, if you want to try Trainwell out for yourself, you could go ahead and click this QR code on screen and get 14 days free. Just take the quiz to get matched with your own personal trainer. But other than that, I just hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!